Aaron Rodgers will have no sympathy for Tom Brady. He doesn't have his top receivers either, and he just makes it keep happening. And he had another great game, and he's having a great season. And I am becoming more and more of an Aaron Rodgers fan every day. And I've got my history with Aaron Rodgers, and I've criticized him in the past, and I've tried to read between the tea leaves, as Chris Sims would say, on things that Rodgers has said and done. And I feel like at times he's passive-aggressive and he tries to prove a point, but he doesn't want to be perceived as someone who's making a problem. Here he is from Pat McAfee's show, a quote that may be ultimately, when we look back on the season, one of the quotes of the year. Here he is.
The whole conversation was like he's bagged up, he's this. Did you hear that stuff? I would assume you did. You have to in the world that we're in, that you see it every single day. And do you think being a second year in your offense that you're currently in with the floor is a massive advantage to maybe what was happening last year?
Okay. I mean, I don't know. Every team is different. Every year is different. And, circumstances in any year which allow you to have more success or make it more difficult for success. Just kind of depends on the situation. It does help being the second year, for sure. I feel a lot more comfortable. But I sometimes laugh when people talk about, down years for me, because a lot of times down years for me are career years for most quarterbacks.
That's quite a reaction from Pat McAfee and A.J. Hawk to that comment from Aaron Rodgers. But he's right. He's right. He delivered it very flat, very deadpan, unexpected. The tail end of a very well-reasoned explanation. And Aaron Jones told me after their Week 2 win over the Lions that that's why the team's better. They're definitely better than last year because they know the offense better. They know the nuances. They know how to run it. They know what's expected. They know the concepts, etc. But, yeah, a little savage move there by Aaron Rodgers. And I like that. I like that we're seeing that from him late in his career. And who knows how late it really is in his career. The way he's been moving, the way he's been throwing, maybe he can play into his 40s like Tom Brady and Drew Brees.
He looks like he's having fun. And I don't know if I've seen that in a few years from him. The last time he won the MVP award was 2014. But he did play awfully well, I thought, last season. I mean, this is a team that went 13-3, and you look at their weapons, and maybe they're not as great as some other quarterbacks have, but he always has elevated his receivers. But he passed for over 4,000 yards, 4,002. He had 26 touchdowns. He threw only 4 interceptions. The stat heads, the analytics gurus didn't like it because there were too many throwaways. The expected points added, whatever that is, was not good enough for Aaron Rodgers. The bottom line was this was a team that went 13-3. They go out, they draft Jordan Love, and we know what kind of chip Aaron Rodgers carries on his shoulder. And that chip got bigger and bigger when they went out and traded up to draft Jordan Love, I guarantee you. And he's off to his best start ever of his career. He's on pace to set a personal goal, a personal record for yards and for touchdowns this season. So he's having a great season. When we talk about the MVP award again, his name's definitely in that group.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And something Sims and I were talking about earlier today, Mark Murphy, the CEO of the team, may be some sort of a mad scientist because last year Murphy's reaction to the excellent article from Tyler Dunn, then of Bleacher Report, regarding dysfunction between Aaron Rodgers and former coach Mike McCarthy, Murphy's reaction was along the lines of, maybe this will be good. Maybe this will get some people pissed off. Maybe this will benefit the team if the reaction to this is, we're not happy with the way things are being portrayed. And when the Packers trade up, give up a 4th-round pick to move up in round 1, to get Jordan Love. It wasn't a falling star like Aaron Rodgers. It wasn't Tua making his way into the 20s. This was a project of a quarterback that they traded up to get. Yes, it gives them some security for the future in the event that Aaron Rodgers retires prematurely or his performance drops off a cliff, but it also, in the short term, applies that red-hot poker, as Sims would say, to the rear end of Aaron Rodgers, and it gets him pissed off, and it gets him motivated, and it gets him determined, and, mission accomplished, Mark Murphy, if they were thinking about that at all, Charean, because it's worked. And we've seen a better Aaron Rodgers than we saw last year. Even though the one last year was better than most career years for any quarterback, we're still seeing a better one this year.
Yeah, we certainly are. And, he's won 2 MVP awards and looks like he's going to be in that race to win a 3rd MVP award. You look at what Josh Allen's done and Russell Wilson and some others. but he's right there. I mean, he's just putting up great numbers. No interceptions. That to me stands out as much as anything. And, you know, forget last year, all the throwaways, everything else. He's not losing the football, so he's not losing games for his team. And it doesn't matter who he has out there at receiver. They just keep rolling, keep putting up yards, keep scoring touchdowns. I mean, who would have thought Robert Tonyan would have scored 3 touchdowns in a game ever? And he did it last night, and he just kept finding the open guy. And I think that goes back to just Aaron Rodgers' greatness. And we just have to appreciate that we're seeing probably the last few years of Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees and Tom Brady, and this has been a golden era of quarterbacks. There's no question about that.
Best way to run the offense, throw it to the open guy. Don't get caught up in who you want to get it to. Just get it to whoever's open and trust him to make the catch, and the players are coming through.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.